Hello everyone and welcome. This is Angelina and I would like to warmly welcome and thank you for joining us here today for the Smada World Opportunity Webinar offered by Next Level Africa. We have some more interesting updates of information to pass on to you regarding the exchanges today. And primarily our focus will be on the exchanges, the CEX. We will likely include some general overview of where we are at with NLA as well, specifically line 6. And as usual, we will be having the Q&A at the end, where you are welcome to ask questions covering all things that we've discussed. Just a reminder though, please hold all questions and comments until that time. So that being said, thank you for everyone joining us from all over the globe in many time zones. We always appreciate your attendance and participation and realize that, you know, it's late or early for some people. So your participation and attendance is terrific. So, given that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to our presenter for today, Mr. Noel Adams, the founder of Next Level Africa and our CEO and leader of the Smada team. Welcome, Noel.
Thanks, Angelina, and thanks everybody. Sometimes when we don't have these webinars for a little while, I have to reintroduce myself on how to use it again. So we've just got a few things we've been getting on with. Anyway, look, I'll get straight into it, and I think that the members who particularly pay attention to the exchanges and where they're at can obviously see that we now have global exchange, and coin exchange has been up for a little while there, but they're both going. There's a lot of work going on in the background that you can't see with the exchanges, and over this last week we've had some fairly lengthy calls between, it's the time zones all over the place, so we've got the US, Los Angeles involved with it, Japan, UK, South Africa, Australia obviously. So coordinating all of this has been a mammoth job over the last week. I've had our development team, they've been getting up at their time in South Africa at 2:30 in the morning to get started with just all the details that need to be done, and sometimes working back and forth on this for 12, 14, 16 hours a day. So it's been a very big task, but we are slowly getting there. And so the exchanges we're currently in the process of putting in an update on the security. And then this will be something that's ongoing, because in the ecosystem that we work in, we've got our exchanges, our coins, and of course Next Level Africa that need to be all linked in. Whilst they're individual out there, they do cross paths as far as, you know, what their involvement happens to be with each other. The other thing too is that you may, for those of you who have had a look at this, you may have noticed that Chingaling.com is showing a different page because they're in the process of getting that completed. Now, what that will be is, look, even though we've had our exchanges live and obviously down times while they've been doing things, but nevertheless they've been there for probably over 3 years now, and even though people have seen them there for 3 years, and there's probably been 2,000 requests that have gone to the bank that questioning the exchange, you can see that they're still there. So if there are any problems, we are dealing with one of the largest banking organisations in the world, HSBC. That would be down in the heartbeat. I had a look in the dictionary there just the other day to the definition of impossible, or the meaning of impossible, and it was to run an exchange out there like we have, showing Chingaling at $71 billion and NLA now at $15 billion, to run that for 3 years without it being taken down. So all I'm getting at is that with the Chingaling.com website going up, what that's going to have in it is all the information about the investments, the humanitarian programs and the alliances that are there to manage and hand out the funds, because the bank have set Next Level Africa up, and we will get a mention in their exchange as well as being one of the alliances for handing out the humanitarian funds. An area out there that once that's up, the credibility of what we're doing will all be there in this website, because if you can appreciate, they've kept this a little bit quiet. We are under the radar at the moment, and as I did mention, where we're going at the moment, because what you've got is the market capitalization, and look, that's quite involved with that, so I won't go into massive detail, but it's all to do with the amount of coins you've got in the marketplace, the expected amount in the marketplace, the fluctuation of the coin sold. So the amount of dollars can vary, and for different reasons. Now, I instigated last week and have paid for having Next Level Africa put on the Blockchain Explorer. Obviously, the people that do that, Jamie, who is in Japan at the moment, and as we know, Japan has had a bit of an issue up there with the weather and with earthquakes. So he's been involved with that, obviously, and had a little bit of a delay, but nevertheless he's back on track with it. But he's tied up with the exchanges, getting the exchanges, and he's the one that does most of the work that we see on the exchanges. Jamie was the developer of our first coin out there when we brought Chingaling out. So that's where Jamie's involvement with it is, and he does a rather good job. He's in big demand. That's why he's in Japan at the moment. He's based in the UK, but he's in Japan because of the crypto involvement in Japan, so he's got a lot of business. I mean, he's got to follow his paycheck. I think we can all appreciate that. So what will happen is that once we're listed on the blockchain, you'll start to see us list in the market capitalization. And currently, Bitcoin is number one with 111 billion, and that can fluctuate by the value of the coin. It did at one time there, I noticed it was up around the 200 billion. So you can see it can vary. We are nudging on certainly being in the top three up there. Chingaling is now sitting on 71 billion, and NLA on total investment with NLA market capitalization. We have something like about $24 billion, because remember the banks have been going to put 20 billion into our account, so you can see that they were doing that over a 5-year period, and I'm sure that's going to be completed this year. So they've certainly done it under that time. And the investors' money has not been put into the account yet to show in the asset account. I mean, the bank have the money, but it's not showing in the asset account. So that will be something that will show in the asset account, which will alter the value of the coin again. So we'll see a rather large jump in the coin coming up for next week. Two parts from what the bank need to put in, and also from the investors. So that's where we are with that. Just on a bit of housekeeping there. We've had quite a few issues that we've had with line 6. We're getting on top of them all now. There's been a few people that have for one reason or another, we've had incorrect email addresses in there, and people can't log in because it shows that they need to put a wallet address in there, and they've already got one in there, because it's a double email address in our e-commerce. We're linked through the e-commerce as well through Next Level Africa and what we do. So we're getting on top of that. There's been a few accounts where the balances have been incorrect. So we're going to be working on all of that and getting it in place. You'll see a lot of upgrades happening over that. I've been working with a few people that have large amounts of accounts they look after for themselves and for other people. So you should start to see them fall into place. I think we've got around about 300 to go, and those 300 will happen over the weekend, I'm sure. They're sending line 7 to me tomorrow, so I'll have line 7. We'll start going through that, so hopefully next week we've signed off on line 6 with everything running there, and we'll get line 7 in. Just because as we start putting those lines in, I would suggest that if anyone's checking their payments, and as they're coming through, I would keep an eye on it, because certainly upgrading to package 2, if you've got the coins there, would be the ideal thing to do, because we're going to have people coming in on line 7, and they will start to to upgrade. And look, I guess what's happening in the people can't necessarily see that at the moment. See, our coin's gone to $214. Now, that's going to be, once we start doing the numbers out there, line 6 puts approximately, I'm just rounding these figures off, but it puts approximately $2 million into the community that the members share in, because line 7 will be 3 times that, and then line 8 will be 3 times line 7, and line 9 will be 3 times line 8. So we are probably looking to have $100 million or more become part of the NLA community out there, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of excitement when people have the reality of being able to liquidate some of that. So I just thought I'd add that in, that we are working as quickly as we can on line 6 out there. I mean, I've seen a few people who put notes in there when is it going to be done, but you have to stabilize it. We can't just throw the next line in without stabilizing the line that you're putting in there. And this is a one-off job. We'll never have to do this again. So if anybody's considering that the people underneath them haven't upgraded, they will. It'll be done very, very shortly. So we just need to be a little bit patient with it, and once it's in, and it'll be automated out there. This will never happen again with it. Just to finish off now with the investors, as we all know that we've been waiting on activity happening from there. Quite a bit had to be done in order to get the exchange, Next Level Africa, ready for showing the investors, because they're investing in not only the coin, but they're also investing in the Next Level Africa management out there, because they want to see what we're going to do to promote and have our coin become a known crypto in the crypto world. So there's just been some technical issues on the last meeting I had. But tomorrow in the US is another meeting where the investors and the banks will be involved with it. There's still a few things that need to be fixed, and Japan come online in another couple of hours, so they'll have another day of working. They've almost completed, this is Jamie, almost completed what he needs to do over from their end, so we should have it all in place But even if it's not, the bank is still going to be advising and recommending NLA as a good investment to their investment group. Remember, these investors are part of the bank's investment team, and the bank are built in there, and they trust in the bank. So we've got the bank behind us, at least in recommending that the whole thing is a good investment for them. So we feel comfortable that there'll be an outcome from this meeting. But I'm trying to be optimistic out there. I don't want to overcommit and overstate what's likely to happen, but that's the fact that they're having the meeting, and so the investors are still there, just waiting to get. And I think you can appreciate that we needed to have the whole thing in place out there, and getting the security in place for what we're doing is a major thing for us as well. So once we get the details of the outcome from the investor meeting, we'll certainly let members know about it out there. There's just a few things. Look, if anybody's got any coins in the exchange, certainly now would be the time to take them up, certainly to the market maker's value on the coin at 214. I'm not sure how much over that the investors will pay, but they'll certainly pay the 214 for the coin. They have to be taken, so anybody there with coins, I certainly would be popping them up. And we should start to see some fairly heavy trading going on in there. Remember, I've have to get myself set to go to the States. I'm signing off on the deal for the allocation to Next Level Africa for the humanitarian dollars out there. So that, as you know, I've mentioned before, is $100 billion that will be allocated to our many humanitarian projects. And in saying that, we're going to attract a whole lot more once that happens as well. And remember, this is not reliant on the investor deal tomorrow. This is something totally separate from that. So we do have some things in place that will assist us to drive the coin and drive our business. We're not totally reliant on one group out there. I'd be biting my fingernails down to our elbows if that were the case. So anyway, we are in good stead with that as well. Look, I will now open it up for any Q&A. I'll hand it back over to Angelina, and I'll open up for any Q&A on what I can answer, and I certainly will try that. And I just wanted to make sure that we had this webinar so that members could feel comfortable that we're heading in the right direction with what we need to do out there, and we will certainly be a force amongst the crowdfunding platforms once we can do the announcement, the press releases. And just to top it off as well, we are in the process of doing up a press release and to our members on our magazine. Our magazine, I've been working with Lou, and Lou's on the call here at the moment. I do want to apologise for not coming back, but this week has been totally involved with getting this exchange. It's just been I had a 16-hour day myself the other day there, so at times I'm not even sure what day it is because I'm talking to people overseas. It's a day difference, and sometimes I forget that I'm talking to them on my day or their day, and so I can be 2 days off plumb with what day it is at times when you eventually go to sleep and wake up. I'm not sure which day that you were there with it. Look, I'll hand it back over to Angelina, and then we'll do the Q&A. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Noel. We've got so many different exciting things, and we always appreciate that our members are really coming to understand that we are giving you right up to the minute information. When we get it, we provide it. Just a quick note, though, when we say that we're receiving a line, that doesn't mean to say that that the line is actually loaded back into the matrix. There is work that we need to do on the line information before it goes back to the developer and their team to have it uploaded into the matrix. So just bear with us and try and have a little bit of patience as we explain these things. Sometimes we'll just say we've received line 7. So anyway, with that, we've got some questions coming in. Noel, we've got the first question is going back to our last webinar about the admin fee, and I think, Magdi, if I'm reading this correctly, you're referring to the admin fee on the packages. If that is correct, could you please just let me know? I'm just going to wait to see if, Magda, you respond to that, because I don't want to answer a question or have Noel answer a question if that's not what you're talking about, because there's... Yes, okay. So, Noel, Magda is asking about the admin fees attached to the packages, and if you would please explain what will happen. Is it going to change? Then there's a few questions after that. So I'll hand the mic back over to you, Noel, starting with Magda. Thanks.
Okay, thanks very much. Gave me a chance to have a quick sip of my cup of tea here. We are going to be changing. The reason those admin fees came in from from package 4, 5, and 6 is because we wanted to protect the coin, and what my main concern when we first went over was was stacking. I couldn't allow members to stack out there, and maybe people would do it intentionally or unintentionally, but I couldn't allow that because I wanted a total distribution of the coins so that members could benefit together rather than someone stacking up there. So, and because of the seed node, we only had a certain amount of coins that we were going to do for the dollar, and after that was completed, then we would go to the market value on the coin. And because we go back so far with this, we started off when the coin went out there, it was increases of, we'd look at it and go, wow, the coin just went up 4 cents back in the early times there, and now, as you possibly might have seen there, that the NLA coin went up about $40. It's probably going up about, very close to $20 a month, and as it becomes more valuable, it'll probably go up a bit more. So we were seeing increases of 4 and 5 cents a month in the early times. So I wanted to make sure we had enough coins to cover what we needed to do. So admin were collecting, so they'll be readjusted, the fees on the admin fees for packages 4, 5, and 6 as we get going with that.
What Anika, pardon me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, she's asking, she's been told that it takes 9 lines to upgrade all the 6 packages in the matrix. Can you explain how that works? And the next question after that would be, how many prospective members do we have in the wings after we go public? And I'll quickly read the next question to please elaborate on the Blockchain Explorer when the NLA coin will be listed, and an update on UPP Plus. And that'll do for now. If you could please answer those, that'd be great.
Okay, and leave it there. But look, with the packages, what you've got to remember, it's an unknown factor. We're going to have product with the packages, and we're revisiting that whole structure on the packages. So what you're going to find that the members, because we're going to make the packaging that we have there very interesting, and we're going to have members that want that particular level. They want to upgrade to that, forgetting what they've got underneath them. They'll just want to get that particular package. So there's no indication about how many members you need underneath you, because the unknown factor is if somebody wants a particular package. As we get going with this, we've got a few ideas on it, that there's going to be people upgrading to the higher packages without any downline. So they're the sort of things that it's an unknown factor, so I can't tell you how many lines you need underneath you in order to have that happen out there. So that'll be just as we get going and have just more and more packages available and have them interesting enough for people to want to do that. So anyway, look, that's where we are with that. Val is asking how many prospective members do we have in the wings after we go public. Well, that's also an unknown quantity as well. As you know, you can't sign up to Next Level Africa. I have some large groups wanting to do something with signing up, but we've held it back. And I'm sure that when people see what's going on in Next Level Africa, we're not going to have any problems with numbers. Because you can't see them and the amount of sign-ups we've had as well, when we complete, right at the moment, I think we're just over the 50,000 positions in Next Level Africa. When it went down before, we had 32,000, but that's up around 50,000, and that will jump very, very quickly once we get going with it. So I don't have people sitting around with numbers on their back, but we do have a lot of things going on there. So you'll see that happen once we do go live. I'm just going. So elaborate on the blockchain explorer when the NLA can be listed. Once again, the developer is doing that now. So it's a little bit like I had to laugh in the rooms because a lot of people don't know the amount of work that's going on in the background, and asking questions like when will line 6 be out there, and probably guessing a lot of the times, and that's what can happen. Well, I have a bit of a weird sense of humour. I was going to put an answer to that in the rooms, and I thought, well, it's easy to work it out. And what you do is you work out the time in Japan, because that's where the main work's being done. You work out about their weather conditions with their earthquake and hurricanes that they've had happening over there. Then you take off the time that they're in front of the UK, and then you add the time in the Los Angeles, and you work out with some of the issues we've had, which have been caused by not only us in the program but also the members out there. So you work out all of that, and showing the time differences all over the place, and somewhere along the line you can divide all them together and come up with an answer. But all I'm saying is it's not easy to answer these questions out there. So it's all about when it's finished and when they complete. Everything with what we're doing is a priority, but obviously there are things that get done a bit quicker than others, and focus goes on to that. But NLA is a major focus, for more so than Chingaling at the moment, because of what the deal going on. So the banks are right behind that, and if you can appreciate that the banks are right behind us with that. As you know, we've taken over Coin Exchange. We have a lot of things going on with Coin Exchange. We've got the support team to get set up with it. We've got a lot of things going on there with Coin Exchange that we want in place. So everything has been prioritised around Next Level Africa. Update on UPB. Yeah, look, they are also having issues with their programmer over there, and so they're doing as much as they can. Programmers seem to be the brakes and the accelerator and everything that we need to do out there. But I do work with David Endy, who owns UPB. David has quite a few accounts in Next Level Africa, and we are in the process now of working out to implement the coin, the NLA coin, into his program. So we're working, our technical people are working, but I prioritised Next Level Africa, getting the exchanges going, and then our guys will come back to just to get the whole thing happening. So, but it certainly hasn't gone away. It's there. Yeah, what is stacking? That's you may have noticed when I quoted for a one link as a total, so only one link can be used, because if you can appreciate, if people signed up, you imagine what's going on now. If people signed up and then they signed up another, doesn't matter, 100,000 accounts underneath themselves, they would be the ones collecting the coins. And so those coins would run out, and they would just go to a selected few, because if you owned the three lines, the line of 3 and then a line of 9 and 81, etc. underneath you, you would be collecting all those coins. So I couldn't have people stacking up there, so I needed to make sure that that didn't happen, and we didn't have a fairer distribution of coins through the community. I've had to just adjust this on the run as we go. The commissions won't change on the packages 4, 5 and 6. All the commissions will stay, they'll stay the same.
Petrus is saying that people don't want to open NLA and Smada World because it doesn't support secure HTTP. Petrus, I'm not sure what you're seeing that is different than the rest of the members, because we have members logging into their accounts and it seems to be fine. Petrus's other question is, people mention that NLA are only a MLM structure that have been tokenized, and that the token does not represent the asset in any way, and it is not redeemable for any funds in the asset accounts. Wow. Okay, that one will be Noel. Please respond to that, because I think Petrus is quite misunderstanding this. So I'll hand the mic back over to you.
Thanks, Angelina. Petrus, what? I'm just trying to, you've got two questions going on there, so we are constantly, if you can appreciate, the banks are totally behind what we're doing, and security is a major concern. So we're guided by what the banks want to do in the security world out there, and our own security team as well. So security on what we're doing is paramount. And I'm sure that there will certainly be up to, to scratch with anyone's security out there. That's what's going on at the moment. We're just putting a new security system in there. I'm not going to mention the costing on it, but I'm the one paying it, and I'll tell you now, it's certainly not cheap. And that's been a major priority for me, to make sure that we do have it totally secured. So you see, when we say people have mentioned, I mean, they say, I mean, I really don't know what has been mentioned out there, but the asset account is designed that the funds, when they're deposited to purchase coin, the funds go in the asset account. And when you sell your coin, the money comes out of the asset account if you want to withdraw it, and you get paid. So no money can come out of the asset account unless you sell coins and it's paid. So that's really where it is. And yes, we are an NLM company, but the coin's not. The coin's not NLM. Next Level Africa. So even though that we use them in the one breath, they're separate. They're totally separate. The NLA coin is a standalone item out there. We wouldn't need Next Level Africa if you know, with the coin. The coin, they certainly both help each other, but one can stand alone. We don't need the coin to pay hang on just a minute. I've got a okay. I'm getting all the questions sent to me here now. I think it is. All right. So just to, you know, to finish on that there with the Petrus, the asset account is set up to pay for money. Line 5 and Line 6 projects are going to be loaded in, so there's priorities going on there, and so I can't tell you exactly when. Petrus, Chingaling was on the blockchain. I know it because I put it on there. So, but the banks are running Chingaling at the moment, and they will organise that again to go on the blockchain. The admin fees will stay the same from 1 to 3. They'll change from 4 to 6. The upgrade in the system at the moment for Next Level Africa, Valerie, is manual. We had issues with the automatic, so we'll be coming back to revisit that. But right now it's on manual. And then the credit cards, once again, there's things are being prioritised out there. We need to get some other things in place before the credit card, but it's certainly going to happen. Yeah, well, Petrus, people mention it. We have people mentioning a lot of things out there. People mention a lot of things to me as well. But it's only because people can't see the full, I guess, gamut of what's going on and what will be coming. A lot of things haven't arrived there yet. So wait till you see the whole thing before you comment on it out there. Remember, we haven't opened to the public yet. This is just our own community going through this, sorting out our issues, and then when we're ready to open to the public, we'll see a totally different aspects of what we're doing. So, Alex is asking, will there be a cost for one NLA coin to transfer from CEX to the Grey Wallet? That's a lot if the value goes up anymore. We did adjust that. I did adjust it down, and so we are going to get them to readjust that and put it on a percentage structure out there, but for some reason it went back. They had it on percentage. And one of the things at the moment is that if you were to run on a percentage, okay, it goes the other way on that, but it lets you run it on a percentage, and that's a percentage on all coins, and people have transferred sometimes a couple of thousand coins out of there. Well, if you do a couple of thousand coins, it's one coin. If you work on a percentage, it might work out at 5 or 6 plus coins. So it's either way, you've got the thing running up. But obviously, if you're just transferring one coin out of the system there. You don't want to be paying another coin to do that. So we will be looking at doing that. I did put it in place, but for whatever reason it's dropped out from there, so we need to revisit that. It's just prioritising things that need to be done. I'm just reading this in a different structure. I've always wondered if there is one account on line 1 to 3, on line 2 to 9, on line 3, etc., or is there more than one of these matrix? There's only one matrix structure we have. There's no Lisa, all the gift positions on line 6. We haven't quite, I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Lisa. Is it to do with the BCN, the promo? If you're talking about that, we haven't quite finished them. So we've still got a couple more to do, but they will be on line 6. So we're hoping to have that completed in a very short space of time. What you're asking, see there, Joe, you're asking about the debit card. We don't tax. That's everyone's responsible for their own tax out there. Once you get going with it, you need to declare what you're earning out there, and so the tax is paid in your particular country. You won't put coins into the debit card. You'll put your actual the cash that you have in the account. It's called duck. At that stage, you'll put the duck in there. It will be converted to US dollars. So that's where you know that's what will be going on the card, not cryptocurrency. Yeah, so there is only one account on line 1. Line 1 in the matrix is the line of 3. That's called line 1. The top position is called line 0. So I'm not sure if you're referring to that up there. That I can't really understand. James is asking when CEX will start trading every day. Well, it does now, James. I'm not sure what you're looking at, but it certainly does now. So the answer to that is now. Go in there. We've had people trying to get funds in there as well. You probably haven't seen them turn up. So we've had a lot of funds being transferred over there. People are trading in Bitcoin and things like that. So there's trading going on in there, and it does happen every day. So what happens to an account that was set in NLA marketing? So coming 2015. With that, there's only one matrix there. But if the account was set up in the NLA marketing, well, once again, it really goes. There's another explanation on all of that as well, and that goes back into the time before I actually took over Next Level Africa. We had a few larrikins out there, if you like, that were just doing some crazy things, and we had to arrest that again. So we set up another section. So that was, you know, something that we rectified again. And so don't worry about anyone that's set up with any. It's all in the one matrix. Coles, is it possible to transfer Chingaling to a, I'm not sure, can't see the end of it there, non-member in GEX? You can transfer coins to a member in GEX. I mean, internally, I'm not sure what you mean with that, Nicole. It's a curly one. Well, you can do. You can transfer coins to members in the exchange from one member. You just need their wallet address in the exchange to transfer the coins there. Every member in the exchange has a wallet address for putting coins into. So you transfer from your wallet internally to someone else's wallet. And thanks, Ray, on that. Look, it's a joint effort on all of this, and so that's where we are with it. But look, we are getting to the top of the hour. We've been an hour. I know we've fumbled around. So look, I'll just pass it back to Angelina to close up. Thanks everyone again with that. No, maybe the upgrading there, the manual upgrade as against, there's no difference with it. We'll be on top of that. That's not the thing that's causing the slow upgrade. We couldn't have people upgrading at the moment because there's issues out there with Line 6 that we're rectifying it, so we'll have that completed. All right, look, thank you again, everybody. I'll just hand this over to Angelina to close up. Thanks again. Bye for now.
Thanks, Noel, very much. And he does like to give us all a good ribbing. None of us are immune. So, anyway, we do appreciate everyone turning out. Thank you for sticking with us we've had a little bit of issue. So hopefully we'll figure out how to render this recording and put it out to you. Please continue to watch the rooms for up-to-the-minute updates. Thank you for everyone's comments, nice comments in the webinar comments chat. We do appreciate your support. And with that, I will call it a day for this webinar. Thank you all. Bye for now.